We got Max Griffin back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Thiago Alves at UFC on ESPN Plus 2 on February 2nd. Max, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Not as good as you, though, man. You're on the way to get a float. I've always wanted to do one of those. How cool is that for recovery and everything?
It's good. It's thousands of pounds of Epsom salt. So if you ever took an Epsom salt bath, you just feel recovered after. And on top of that, it's a sensory deprivation, which I believe has the most. It really puts your body in like a healing state. Let your mind work, man. It's good. It's good for the body. Let you kind of reset your psyche. That's needed these days is hellacious training.
And I know one of the other things you use for recovery is the Terphouse CBD and all that. How's that going, as far as healing up all those bumps and bruises?
It's the best. I used it a few times today. I'm all over it. My hands after I punch stuff, my arms, and I'm drinking that stuff pretty much out the bottle. It's good. It's good.
Let's talk about your last fight quickly, UFC 226. I know things didn't go your way in that one, but what did you take away from that performance against Curtis Millender?
It's not about whoever the better fighter is. That's not always the case. Even more prepared and different things. I don't feel he's better than me in any real scenario. It's just putting things together at certain times. He stole the rounds, and I was just playing. He did all his action in the last 20 seconds of a round. He kind of stalled in between that time. But it was close. If I would have landed a few more shots, would have took it. One more takedown, could have took it. And I talked to him after. He ended up going to the hospital. He had a real bad concussion. It's more than just being the better guy. It's a more strategy in there. Game planning, changing things up. You learn, man.
So by the sounds of it, you feel like he won the battle, you won the war.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is.
And that fight was back in the summer, and here we are talking about a fight in February. I imagine you wanted to get in there a little bit sooner. Was it just tough getting you a fight booked?
No, I did want to get a fight. It took a while. I had an injury probably like right after the fight that I suffered. I was recovering from, and then they asked me to fight in China on like 3 weeks' notice, and I was like, nah, I'm still doing rehab and all that. But I'm all squared away now.
How do you feel like you match up against Thiago Alves in this fight?
I like Thiago. He's a real tough guy. Moves forward. He's kind of similar to Perry in a sense. How they move and the size and kind of their temperament. They want to get in there and just thrash you, move forward. I believe Mike had heavier hands, but Thiago definitely has better kicks. His kicks are his bread and butter. So I feel good though. I wanted this fight, and it's good. I'm a little bit more rangy than he is. I got like 5 or 6 inches on him with the hands, and he likes moving forward. He likes to fight, and that's what plays to me when someone wants to fight, especially with that caliber. That's my thing. Um, he's not fresh as he was, but he's still dangerous. He's still a title contender. He was, and I'm looking forward to the battle.
Training camp pretty much the same. Training a bit at MMA Gold, doing all your usual training and all that.
Yeah, a little bit. That's been similar, but I've also been going to the UFC PI a lot. I have a deal with them where they fly me out every 2-3 weeks, and I spend about 4 days there, 3-4 days. I'm going to Xtreme Couture when I'm out there, so that's cool. Working with different guys, got a lot of bodies. Dennis and Nick over here and other stuff, and it's world class, so it's good. My stuff against these guys, and yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that I have changed. Going to Vegas quite frequently and going to Extreme Couture.
The weight cut, how's that going ahead of this fight?
It's good. I started to do some intermittent fasting kind of stuff. I was doing a lot of research on it, and even this time restricted eating. It really changes your physiology in your body, and so my body's a little bit different. I'm still good. I'm still about 90 right now. It's not bad. About right on target. So I'm just feeling things out. I'm going to the institute actually tomorrow to do a new scan on my metabolism, and we'll see what I need to adjust with Clint and Charles over there, and dial it in. I've never had a problem, so easy money.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Josh Shufeld, Dave Marinoble, and Daniel Brito. Um, it's going to be good. And the good thing is, too, Anthony's fighting out there as well.
That's right,
Fluffy
Hernandez.
Hernandez. So we'll have all the guys. We'll have all the guys out there, you know, the other coaches as well. So it's going to be good energy, real good energy.
How do you see this fight unfolding on February 2nd?
You know, I'm going to have to do whatever I'm going to do to get him. He's tough. You know, I know his road is ending. He's fighting Fortaleza, which is his hometown. So I want to send him off in style. You know, I love fighting in Brazil. The fans love fighting. The fans love a good fight, and I'm gonna bring it to them. You know, I'm gonna finish him. I'm just gonna do whatever I gotta do. You know.
Yeah, I was going to say because you probably don't want to leave it to the judges' scorecards, especially with it being in Brazil.
Yeah, that's off the table. You know, if I don't finish him, I have to dominate him every second and some. And I'm gonna use my tactics and get the job done.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it, man. February 2nd, it's UFC on ESPN2, or ESPN Plus 2. Max, always good catching up with you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Goodness gracious. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. It's Max Payne MMA or Max Griffin. You know my name. Sponsors, I have a shit ton. I'm never prepared because I'm driving. I'm not prepared. You know, really just my fans, my lady, you know, my son. This is, I think, my 6th fight in the UFC now. We have a lot of support. It's a nice life. And, you know, all the companies that do have my back, I'm going to Symmetry Float right now. I mean, I have about 30 sponsors. I don't want to miss anyone. But I appreciate everyone. Appreciate my gyms, my coaches, the people in my circle. These days are getting crazy these days. You know, the stuff's changing. Just everything in the world is getting crazier. So just keep my circle close. And I love my fans, and I'm going to give you guys a good show.